I'm just speaking up for those who don't have a voice.
Mid-December, on the training track before the first cricket test of the summer, Australia's opening batsman, Usman Khawaja, wore shoes that said, "Freedom is a human right and all lives are equal in the colours of the Palestinian flag."
Is freedom not for everyone? Are all lives not equal?
Before the match, cricket's governing body, the ICC, warned Khawaja that its regulations bar cricketers from displaying political, religious or racial messages, and that wearing the shoes during play would be an offence. But when he took to the field, Usman was wearing a black armband.
Yes!
The ICC was not impressed, overnight charging him for doing so. At this stage, it's just a warning and he's free to play the second test in Melbourne on Boxing Day.
My reaction?
Today, he fired back, saying the armband was for a, quote, personal bereavement, and he'll be taking it up with the ICC.
Being reprimanded for wearing a black armband made no sense to me. The armband was different to my shoes. I followed all the regulations, the past precedents. There's been plenty of people who've not had permission to wear stuff in the past. Guys have put stickers on their bats, names on their shoes without ICC approval and never been reprimanded. It's all I ask for the ICC, just consistency.
Khawaja stressed that Cricket Australia has been supportive and he will not be wearing the armband in the next test.
I don't have any agendas other than trying to shine a light on what I feel really passionately, really strongly about. The reason I'm doing it is because it hit me hard when I'm looking at my Instagram and I'm seeing kids, innocent kids, videos of them dying, passing away. That's what's hit me the hardest. I just imagine my young daughter in my arms at the same thing. We live in such a beautiful country. I'm blessed to be able to go to Australia. I can walk outside, I don't have to worry about a thing. My kids can do the same. I just want that for the rest of the world. And that's literally the reason I'm saying this.
When it comes to our superstars of Australian sport, people always have a lot of opinions. When it comes to this national team in particular, they have even more opinions, and you get a lot of weight being thrown around from all different corners, including the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese.
I think that Usman Khawaja is a great Australian cricketer, and that the position that he put forward is one that I think is pretty uncontroversial. Usman Khawaja made his position clear, which is he didn't see it as a political statement.
The problem here is that rules are rules. I mean, the ICC says you can't do this. Now, the reason they do that is because every cricketer or every football player or every sportsman or woman in the country could feel very passionately, and I got no doubt Usman feels extremely passionate about this, and I thought his explanation about his children was really touching. But you can't have anybody just plastering themselves with messages. I know it's hard to say this, but you've got to keep politics and sport separate, and I think the people who go to the cricket want to watch cricket and appreciate cricket, him as a cricketer, and I just think it's a divisive thing that he's done.
I'm not sure if it's possible these days, though, to keep politics out of sport. I mean, we literally just heard our top politician there weighing into this debate. I understand what you're saying, Pricey, in that the ICC themselves, in their regulations, their code of conduct, they say that the reason behind these bans or why they bar players from doing these personal kind of protests is because they don't want it to be divisive. But I also think that Usman Khawaja has handled himself so well throughout all of this. He's trying to do it with the utmost respect. He didn't wear the shoes onto the pitch.
Is anyone wearing this argument about the black armband? I mean, he says it's a personal bereavement. I mean, that doesn't seem to float my...
But I also think that it could still weigh up when he takes it to the ICC.
Yeah, and I think from his perspective, he sees this as an issue of consistency, as he says, right?
Yes, yeah.
He's saying he thinks that there are examples of people being able to do similar things in the past that they weren't pulled up on. But it strikes me that in this instance, it feels like he has really shone a spotlight on this issue. The Prime Minister's being asked about it, which I think is probably a win for, you know, people talking about this issue. And he gets off with a warning, which I feel like, you know, he'd be pretty happy with. I mean, not happy with because he's been reprimanded, but there's no actual punishment for him, you know? So.